Hello crafters, welcome to my channel if you're new here, welcome back if you're a subscriber. Today I'd like to show you how I made this card. It's a really cool card and it folds flat to go into a 5x7 envelope. It just all pops up like this. It's so cool. I hope you can see it there. So it lays flat to go into your envelope, and then the whole thing just pops up and sits up like that. Now, this die is from the Made to Surprise 12 Days of Christmas. It's a type of advent calendar box, and I just loved this. The die set from this was from box 2. And when I saw this, I just couldn't wait to make it. Now, we got stamps in box number 1, and I have coloured them in, and I'm going to pop in a little video where you can watch me colouring them in. It's sped up really quick, and I'll leave a little note on the screen to say if you want to miss out the colouring, the time to jump to. So this die set, you can have it, so if you imagine it this way, without my little snowman, you can have it so you have your image here and you just have these little half dome areas. But I thought it would be fun to pop some images on them. Now, the image that you're seeing here, the snowman and the Christmas tree and my little snowman here, they're from the Festive Fun stamp and die set. And what I've done is I've stamped these, coloured them, I scan them onto my computer, and then I print them up. And the thing is, you can print them up and use the dies, or you can actually, you know, reduce their size and everything. So I just find that really handy to do. So I thought it would be fun on this one. Now, you can also use these dies where you can put a layer on the front. So here I have a snowbank layer up on foam. And again, I've added a little piece because I figure if you have these little areas, you might as well add little images and stuff on there. So that's what I have done with that. And I'm going to show you how to do the basic one, but I'm also going to show you how you can take this part here, so this piece here, and you can layer that up on front. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to layer it on these two, and I'm going to cut them down so they're snowbanks. Now you can use these for birthday cards or anniversary cards or whatever you like. You could have a picture on one and have it decreasing. So I thought I would show you how to do the layered one using this piece here. Because it's basically this, it just depends. Like, this is your starter, your middle, and what we'll do together is like your finish, you know. And it's just ideas for what you can do with these dies. I have to say, of all the dies Sam has brought out, this is now my second favourite die set. I think it's fabulous. I have 6 Christmas cards left to make, and here's 2 of the 6. I think the next one I'm going to show you, that's going to be 3, 4, 5 and card 6, my last cards to make for Christmas. So I'm going to give over waffling. I'm going to move these aside and we're going to go through what we need. Now, before I do that, I just want to share the images that I've used here are from the Made to Surprise stamps that came in Creative Crafting or Creative Stamping. It was issue 139. And again, I stamped out all the images. I scanned them onto my laptop, and then I just print them all out, and I get my scan and cut then to cut them out. So that's what I do generally with the images. So anytime now I want to make Christmas cards, and I generally do that with any images that I have, I'll stamp them, colour them, and yeah, scan them. It's a quick way to get around having to colour, unless you like colouring every time. So I'm going to move this one over. We have our dies here and our stamps. What I want to do is share with you my stamping and colouring of these images. I'm using my Spectrum Noir Tri-Blend markers, and this is me just quickly going through it. There's a link down below for the colours, the markers that I use and their colours, and all other links that you may be interested in. So I'm going to go ahead now and do some colouring with you. Now, you can see that I have my stamping platform off there to the right. And I was going to put all my images in my stamping platform and stamp them up. But full disclosure, I found that they didn't stamp well doing that. And I really did try, you know, using the stamping platform, because I figured I could just stamp it multiple times. So instead, I end up using a block to stamp them up. And what I'm going to do with these is I'm going to colour in this page that I've done, and then I'll scan them and save them to my laptop. And then I can connect my laptop to my printer and I can print up as many copies of this as I want. And this is something that I'm doing now with my stamping. I do enjoy colouring. I feel, you know, I'm a beginner, intermediate, somewhere like that. I'm not going to tell you how I'm colouring and how best to do it, because I don't believe I'm qualified to do that. But what I am doing is I'm showing you that you don't have to be brilliant to to colour in. Just take your time. I love the tri-blend markers because it gives me my three colours. I've got my dark, my medium and my light colour. And in some images which are small, I'll use maybe a dark and a medium, or a dark and a light, or a medium and a light. I'll only use two colours, and in some I can use three. And with all these images, I did use the three colours. A lot of people will tell you start with the light color, go to medium and then dark, and then go back again, go medium and then light. Sometimes I do it that way. Sometimes I'll start with my dark color, you know, in where I think the dark areas should be. If you're new to coloring and you're not artistic, then I recommend watch the likes of Nicole Spohr, Amy Orr, who else? There's loads of people that are really good at colouring that I follow, and I'll put a couple of links to some of the people I watch, and I'll watch their colouring just for inspiration, and I try then to mimic that in my colouring. But like I said, don't be too worried about how it looks. You know, do your best. That's all you can do. And enjoy the process. If you're not enjoying the process, then don't do it, you know. And colouring isn't for everyone. I mean, I couldn't sit down with a blank page and draw a wreath, but I can colour in a stamped wreath, you know. So it's all relative. Crafting should bring you to a happy place. It should be somewhere where you feel you're enjoying what you're doing, do you know, and it brings you pleasure. That's what crafting should be about. And that's what I do it for. I enjoy doing my crafting. I record it because I have the ability to do that, and I share it on YouTube, and I do it to hope that it inspires others. Do you know, I don't think much of myself. I'm not like, I'm so good, I'm going to do a YouTube. It's just that I enjoy doing it, and I know that I have some subscribers out there that enjoy to watch. While I was doing this stamping and colouring, I was chatting with one of my crafty friends. Now, I have lots of crafty friends. I have a couple of crafty friends. I think there's about 6 or 7 of us. And we have, on a Tuesday afternoon, we do a messenger video call. And so it's a group. And I love it. We get to craft together, have the chats. It's really fun. Yeah, especially, I'm isolated. I'm in the country in Mayo, and although I'm not far from my local town, I don't have access. I couldn't walk, even though I'm about 2 kilometers from my nearest town. I couldn't walk on the roads out there because I'd get knocked down. It's lethal. It's a country road, so yeah, you could be walking around a bend and a car could come through you. So I don't have that ability. So what I'm saying is, because I'm rural, I don't have neighbours that I can pop into for a cup of coffee and all that kind of thing. So it's lovely to have this little group, and some of them then from that group I chat to on other occasions. And one of them, who is my best crafty friend, Benita, she's over in Sweden. And it's brilliant because we'll sit and we'll craft together. We prep for videos. Benita has a lovely little YouTube channel that she started. She's just over 200 subscribers on her channel, and it's called Under a Pile of Papers. And so we kind of knock ideas off each other, and just like this, when I'm sitting here colouring, I could be watching YouTube videos or have a podcast on or something like that, or a video playing in the background. But sure, it's nice to have human company, you know, that you can have the bit of banter with and everything. So while I'm colouring all these in, I'm chatting with Benita and just chatting about life in general. Now, the colours that I have used are listed down in the description. Like I said, they're tri-blend markers. I have Spectrum Markers, Spectrum Noir Markers, and Spectrum Tri-blend markers, and they're my preference. Benita uses the Ohuhu markers. She loves them. I know Craft Stash do an alcohol marker, and Sam from Mixedupcraft and lots of others use them. There's the Olo markers that some crafters that I watch that they use. So it's finding the markers that you like. I would recommend that you know, maybe get a couple of, if you're new to it, get a couple of the tri-blends and see how they feel. If you're not liking them, try a couple of other brands. But I have to say, the Spectrum Noir for me are brilliant, especially the tri-blends. They were a game changer for me, having the 3 in one. I mean, I have about 80 of the just single markers by Spectrum Noir, and I struggled to colour. I didn't like it. And it was because I didn't know what 3 blends to put together, what 3 markers, how do I blend them? And I suppose if I'd sat down and practiced and done a bit, I'd have been fine, but it scared me. I just, oh my God, what if I get it wrong? So yeah, I mean, it sounds stupid, but that's how I felt. And getting the tri-blends, it was like, oh, this is brilliant. Everything is picked out for me. I love it. It's fabulous. So if the other brands could take 3 markers and say these 3 or these 5 markers make a great color blend, I would buy the greens in those and, you know, have them. So I mean, if anyone is listening, please try doing that. It would be brilliant. But the markers that I've used, I'm going to read them out, but like I said, it's in the description down below. So I've used Alpine green, light green, yellow green, dark red, gold brown, muted brown, earth brown, bright pink, coral, true blue, ice blue, orange, magenta, light yellow, brown grey, purple. I've also used one of my bright floral markers, and that has 3 different colors in it. So it has rose, pink and tulip, and I used one of the colors on that. I also used GB3, which is a single color Spectrum Noir marker, and I used GB1. So that's all the colors I've used. That's our colouring done. I'm going to bring them to my scan and cut now. And that's all our colouring done. You can see here I have them all in here. I keep them in a little wallet, and I'll keep that with the dies and stamps, etc. I've taken out some that I may use, but I may just use some more. It depends on how I'm feeling. But I have another few cards to make, so I know I will use all these up. So let's have a look at what you'll need. Now, the first thing you're going to need is to die cut out 2 of these. And these are this piece here. So if you die cut that out twice, you'll have this. Now, Sam recommends you double up on everything, just for stability. Now, you can have them, when you die cut them out, you can put them like this. And I do believe they're a mirror image that they'll go round, or you can die cut them out and then have the back side of one. So whichever way you want to do it, they will work together. So I have already stamped my festive wishes on this, my back piece, and that's all ready to go. And that's just a stamp from my stash. Now, you're going to need 2 of these pieces. I'm just going to make sure you're in shot. Right, this piece here, you're going to need 4 of these. You're going to double them up so you have 2 stands. And this is the part that all of these are going to sit into. So die cut out 4 of these and double them up so you have 2. You're also going to need to die cut out 4 of these. And again, we will double them up, and that'll give us 2. Now, I use the collal glue. If you're a regular to my channel, you know I love the collal glue for construction. It gives it a chipboard effect when it's dried and it makes it really strong. Then we're going to need to die cut out 4 of these. And when we put 2 of them together, we'll have them like this. So I've stamped already on this piece for my front. And so that's ready to go. Usually I leave the stamping to the end. I'm being clever with this one. I want to put a little scene like what I've done on these. Now you could put some pattern paper on here. If you go to the Mixed Up Crafters group that Sam has, there's so much inspiration for people, what they're making. So I have taken a die from my stash, an oval die, one that would work best, and I've die cut out a piece of blue cardstock. Onto that I splashed some Spectrum Noir sparkle pen. I don't know if you can see it there, but in the light it really does shine. I'm going to take some Twilight VersaFine Clear ink, and I'm going to blend around the top area there, so it'll give me this look here. I think it gives a more of a sky look. And then I'll take my white gel pen and I'll add some dots for snow. That'll sit in there like that. I've also die cut out, using the same oval, a piece of white texture card. Now this is a kind of an off-white colour. You can see it there, the difference between the 2 whites that I've used. I thought it would give more of a look of snow. And I've just cut a kind of a snowy hill on that. That's going to sit on here and it'll join up like so, and that'll give us our image. Now we could cut out another piece, add some foam to the back of this and pop that on over the top, and that will give you this style where we've got our foam piece in there and given us a snowbank. And then all you do is you add your layers to the front and the back, these pieces here. But because I'm going to go wild and I'm going to add layers, what I've done is I've cut out 4 more of this large die. Now when you cut it out, you don't have to cut the whole height, because I'm going to put 2 snowbanks, so these are going to layer up like so. So I've taken 2 pieces and 2 pieces, I've glued them together, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut them down so I have a snowbank. So once I've done that, you can see there I've one done already. You could stick them both together and then cut the 2 at the same time, but I just wanted to show you that I have 2 glued together. Then I'm going to take another snowbank, I'm going to glue that on here like so, and once I have that on, I'll then come around and I'll cut my shape off. So I'm going to do that in a minute with you. I've done the exact same thing again, but I've just done it lower. So you can see, if I take this snowbank off, you can see there that the front one is lower. So this one will sit on the front here, and then this one will sit on the front there. And what I'm going to do then is I'm going to use my stamped images to embellish all these layers. Now, I do have my sentiment stamped on this one, so we can actually bring the whole thing back. In these, you're encouraged to put this one in the middle, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this one back further, and that way then I can add this one to the front. But if you want, you could stamp your sentiment on this one and have it as your front piece. It's up to yourself. I think as you start making them, you'll see how easy they are and you can decide what way you're going. So we'll have one here for the front, and I'm also going to pop one on the back. So you can, like I've told you, you need 4 of these and 4 of these and 4 of these doubled up, depending on what you're doing. If you're doing this one, you'll need all those pieces. But if you're doing this one, then you won't need all of them. You'll just need one for the back. So you'll see as I'm going along. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to glue my snowbank onto here. And then I'm going to start assembling, and we can see how it comes along together. I'm very excited about this. Oh, before I go on, I'm just going to tell you, I coloured this one in and it was white like this. And because my background is blue, I've taken a blue marker from my stash. Now, this is the Crelando blue cardstock. And I found that my BT7 Spectrum Noir marker, my alcohol marker, works really well to match that up. So you don't need to colour this in, but I'm going to pop this up on the top here like that. So I wanted the blues to be similar, so I've put that in there. Okay, I'm going to do a bit of assembly now, and I'll do a bit of a voiceover on top of that, and we'll speed things up. So the first thing I'm going to do is add my snowbank to the piece that we cut down earlier. So I'll pop that on there, and I'm using the cloud glue for this. You could use whatever glue you have in your stash. So I'll just follow the hill that I had made, and that's that one done now. Perfect. I'm going to join these 2 of the larger pieces together. Now you see there, I've basically done this with my 2 snow banks that you've seen. I just didn't cut them the whole way up. And you can do this using any shape. I have done this as I'm sitting here. I have used some nested squares, and I have sandwiched the scalloped piece there on the right between nested squares. I've also used some lovely arches, and again done the same thing where I have cut the scalloped piece that's there on the right. I've cut that down to fit within my arched pieces, and I'll have images on my Facebook page and my Instagram page, and at the end of this video you'll be able to see those. So you really can you can do so much with this. You can use that scalloped large base as a platform to build upon any shape, and that's, I think, why I love this die set that came in the calendar, and I hope that Sam brings it out in one of her collections, maybe do the scalloped oval in a different shape. But I think anyone who follows Sam or doesn't will look at this and think, oh, I wish I had the option to buy this. And as far as I'm aware, her 12 Days of Christmas box has sold out. I'll leave a link to Craft Stash. I'll have another look before I post this video and see, but I do believe that it has sold out. Now you can see I'm adding the 2 wreaths here, and they are pretty much a mirror image, so I'm able to cover the back and the front, you know, I'm able to put them together. So now I'm assembling this, and I've put it to the second last slots. Then this one goes in those middle slots, and then our lowest snowbank will go in the second slot from the front, and then my little sentiment one, that can go in the little slots there at the front. And then I'll just add the little one to the back, and it's a matter of decorating. Now what I've done, and I think I do show it going forward, is when you slide them down into paste, I've added a little bit of glue, because otherwise they can just slip out of the semicircle there on the bottom, of which there are 2. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 slots on each side. And I find if you add a little bit of glue either to the piece sliding in or the slots themselves. It'll hold them in place. And for me, it means you can pick them up and turn them around and you won't have anything falling out. So, and it still folds flat and everything. So it's up to yourself whether you want to glue them into the two pieces with all the slots that they sit into. It really is up to yourself. So I'm just decorating now with the images and I'm having fun doing this. Full disclosure, I wish Sam hadn't put the faces on the crackers and the Christmas trees and everything. I wish she had given us a stamp with that little face that you could have added on, because personally I'm not a fan of that. But I mean, it is super cute and it looks good, you know. But I just wish it had been something that she'd done, given us the option of stamping the little faces in or leaving them out if we wanted. So I've it stood up here so it makes it easier for me to see my layers, etc. But I will kind of sit it back down so that you can see. Sometimes it's hard for YouTube to do embellishing like this and show it. So there we go. There are our 3 styles for this fab card idea. It kind of reminds me of a snow globe, but we have our simple one here where we've put all our layers in and we've just added some of our images, and you can add whatever images that you have in your stash. Then we've added an extra layer here with our foam and we've put our layers on that. And I think the bear looks like as if he's holding up the sentiment there. Have yourself a merry little Christmas. And I just used some sentiments that I had in my stash, as well as some made to surprise sentiments. And then this is our finished one that we've made together. And I do love all these snowbanks that we have put in and we have layered up. I do love this. Now, these pieces will pop out. You might notice there, these ones don't. What I have done is I have taken my layers, and I'll show you with the back one. This is up to yourself whether you want to do it or not. What I have done is, for the other 2, I've taken my liquid glue, and I've done these with all of my layers, and I've just added a little drop of glue in there like that, kind of getting it into the middle if I could, and then I just slot this back into place. And then when the glue dries, this glue dries clear. It doesn't leave any residue or anything, so you don't even see it. And it just means when this dries, then your layers won't pop off. But if you want to be able to take it apart and maybe store it, then don't glue them. But I like the idea of gluing them. I mean, it all folds flat. So, and you can see there, it still folds flat, and all those layers have a little drop of glue in them. So I'm going to do that with this one. Once I'm done here, I'll add my little drop of glue onto all of those layers so that it sits in nicely. I just need to make sure it's all in camera. So it's kind of hard to show them all to you. But I hope you've enjoyed my tutorial. If you have, you might give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel, Blonde Cards and Crafts, and ding the bell. That way you'll be notified next time I post a new video. You can share your makes with me on my Facebook group called Your Cards and Crafts. And if you'd like to help support my channel, you can click the Super Thanks button down below. That will help my channel. So thanks for watching. Until next time, take care, stay safe, and bye for now.